So after 2015 September, October-ish, where once we are done and everyone is going back to their homes and stuff like that, so I came back to Kenya. I remember like maybe some 4 weeks before coming back to Kenya, and I started asking myself questions like, okay, now when you're going back to Kenya, because you're gonna go back in the next 4 weeks, your visa is about to end, so what next? At this point, always rudi to an insurance company. At this point, after all this, ishaenda, man. So now I started asking myself, so what next? What are the networks? Do I have any networks? So I didn't have, per se, like any networks. So now at this point, it's more of like spamming actors I know. People you always see on telly, right. People they're in the industry, right. Just spamming them. Hey, my name is Nick. I am a I left. Give them the whole story.
Like emails or social media, whatever.
Say your time ni Facebook message. Okay. Your time you're not pro enough to like let me email this guy. It's whatever.
You're just trying to get to.
Exactly. And WhatsApp, you can't do WhatsApp because I don't have their contacts.
Right.
So email, Facebook is the thing.
Okay.
So you just do like one whatever, then you copy paste it to different people who you just change the name. Dear Gerald, itakuwa ni Dear Liz Njaga, Dear Gerald Langili, that kind of stuff.
Big up Gerald.
Yeah. Man, that guy is big time.
Okay.
So I did all of that. Some responded, some didn't respond. Then I got home. Then I was like, okay, now this is the reality. So what next? So there's a lady called Liz Njaga, an amazing lady. So I remember messaging her, and she replied. Then she was like, "Yo, when you're back, just let me know." Then
so you're still in Italy at this time?
In Italy,
when you're sending messages. Okay,
exactly. Like 3 weeks before going back.
I see.
Yeah. So then I remember messaging her. Then she told me something like, "Yeah, when you're back, just let me know," and stuff like that. If there's an opening thingy. I was at that point, I'm considering myself as a director, but you see, when you're going back, there's like now directors. Me yangu sasa ni ka director. Then there's directors.
There's levels.
Ukirudi ni unajua share. Okay, there's levels. Go back. It just happened when I'm back. Liz Njaga was starting out new TV series. It was called, I can't remember the name, but she was starting out a new TV series.
Right.
And she was like, so I remember pestering her, I'm back. So linisema nifika nikushow. So exactly, nimefika. So it just happened. Akaniambia, okay, nice. So actually, let's meet up. Nini, we have a pre-production. We wanna start. It was called News Just In. I remember. I'll share the link to you.
Yeah, dope.
And he was like, yo, so you come to our set. You're gonna be a set runner. That's the intern of the interns in a set. Yeah.
You make the tea for the guy that makes the coffee.
Exactly. Rolling cables. All that kind of stuff. Unahitaji nini? I'm the guy. I was like, I want to be
around
these guys. So I was the set runner, and so there's like a cinematographer called at that point Likarion Wainaina. At that point I didn't know him as a director. He was till today I still struggle to see him as a director, however much he's one of the best directors. For me, he was a cinematographer. Okay. So, and he didn't have like big budget, so they didn't want to have more crew. And also Liz Njaga wanted like a smaller crew. So Liz Njaga is this lady, they were working with the husband who's called Alex. So it's Alex Constantaras and Liz Constantaras, and they're pretty much known for a lot of films. Like they're the guys who like started out films in Kenya kitambo. And they're pretty much known of there was a film around that time called House of Lungula.
Yes,
they're the guys who did that.
Okay.
So now he became a gaffer to Likarion. So a gaffer is pretty much like a best boy or a light guy. So now I started now being in the technical side. So Likarion will tell me, okay, so this scene, bring lights CV. So now we did like it was like a 1.5 months TV series. So now I learned quite a lot. Now being, now this is not now in Italy whereby you are doing now student stuff. This is industry stuff. Money is on the table. You can't mess. You can't mess a set. So now being in set now, you're all these guys, well, they are linking you up to other people.
Network is growing.
After shoot, if there's like some after parties, you're meeting new actors and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So now that's how I ended up, like, now in a way now putting myself into the industry. Now not being now a filmmaker now, but now putting myself into the industry. And so by that time I'd already like moved out of my folks' house, so I was like now my own man, and stuff like that, because I also didn't, I mean, at that point my folks were still, I think you should get a job and whatever. So I was like, if I'm still gonna stay in this house, there's gonna be friction and stuff like that. So now I moved out and now I was like now doing my own stuff. So that was like now the beginning of 2016 now. So now 2016 now I knew the series has ended. We did like season 1. So what next? That's the next question. What next? I mean, now I'm only known by only this crew, Akina Liz and Alex, and Gerard Langiri was also on that set. So Gerard Langiri, a funny thing is, when I was spamming everyone, he didn't respond to my message. Then on set, he discovered much later, oh, you are the guy who sent me that message. I mean, it was just funny, Yeah, we became friends, good guy.
It's a very good guy.
Yeah, then, after that, now it's like, okay, I need now to find a footing. So what do I do? And at this point, as a filmmaker, if you're not a big-time director or anything, or a big-time cinematographer, you need something that will keep you somewhere. So it definitely at this point is have an equipment at least, in case you are called for gigs, I have an equipment. Exactly. So I mean, if I won't be a filmmaker, my other life, I think I would have been a pilot. There's something about flying.
That's like me as well,
I mean, there's thing. Exactly. Everyone wanted to be a pilot. Exactly. It's a dope thing. So, and at that point, that's when like drones were coming in Kenya and stuff like that. So me and my friend called Maurice, the guy who sent me the link,
initially,
and he didn't apply the link, and we were in the same class in comp science. Because now when we came out after uni, other people were getting works in there, but me and him, we were in this creative world. We don't want like the whatever. So, but I don't know why he still never applied for that. But he was like, you apply. Went Chomeka solo, but So then, aliona imeingiana, then mimi nimeenda. So when I came back, that time Maurice was working for Emmanuel Jambo as an assistant photographer. So I came back, we changad some cash in there, borrowed some money, then we bought our first drone. Then now that was like now our thing. We started being like drone pilots. And drone pilots weren't many. So now it means like in every shoot or anything, if they need a drone pilot now,
there's not many people.
Now I have my own department in Kenya as one of the guys. So now that's how now I started now building myself now, knowing people now, because you're being called now to any sets, TV sets, TV commercials, your docs and stuff like that. And so
kajituma tu.
Kajituma at this point unaenda tu as it's going, unaenda na flow. I started now meeting other production houses. I remember there's a production house called Lightbox. I met Akina Bram and Samsoko. And they gave me a chance.
They've done amazing work as well.
Those guys, big time. One of my closest guys. And I remember at that point, they had a film. Now Lightbox had a film called Watu Wote. An amazing short film. It was a co-production between Lightbox and it was a student film, Lightbox and Hamburg Media School. So what is this amazing film that won a Student Academy Awards. Then the following year was nominated for the Oscars. So I was called in to do like drone shots for the film. It's a short film, so it's an amazing film, Watu Wote, which means all of us. It's a film about, you remember around that time, that's when like there was quite a lot of Al-Shabaab attacks. So it's a film made from a story whereby there was a bus that was going to Mandela.
Is it the one Charlie Karomi? Was it Charlie?
Yes, the one with Charlie Karumi.
Yes,
that one, yeah.
I was in Kenya that time. I remember hearing about it.
The one with Charlie Karumi. And so it was a story about how the Muslims in that bus, when they got stopped by the Al-Shabaab somewhere in the middle of the road on their way to Mandera, the Muslims helped the Christians, by giving them the hijabs and the niqabs, so that the Al-Shabaabs don't know who's Christian, who is who. Yeah, and so I was called for that set to do like drone shots. Of course, I met now Akina Charlie there. They had called in this guy from Captain Phillips. The two guys from Captain Phillips to act out as the pirates, the Al-Shabaab. So now I met them. Then I was like, wow, okay, okay, this thing is going somewhere, I mean, by that point, in terms of money wise, I mean, I would say when I think about it, I was not getting money. I mean, I was being paid, but I was not getting like big money.
Crazy,
but also that wasn't a problem for me. Me, as long as whatever I'm getting paid can pay my rent. I was living in Roysambu, can pay my rent and just my movement from my house to anywhere I want to go. That's it. Good. So I did the film. And after that, now me and Maurice, now we started out like an outfit, a production company called Folklore Films. So at that point we were now doing Folklore. Sir. Yep. So at that point now we were doing events, weddings. Now now we have to make money from ourselves because not every time you will get sets. Exactly. So I mean, Maurice's sister used to work at an events company called Expose. So now we would get gigs here and there to shoot weddings here and there, corporate events, cocktail events. So now that's how we started out. Now from the drone, so since Maurice had already bought a camera, now it was like, now we can do even now production. Exactly. Now we can do stuff. We had a laptop, we can edit stuff. So now
in the company now.
Exactly. now that's how we started. Now we started the company in 2015, but it was like a dormant thing. It was like on paper. It's there. We have the papers there. But now 2016, that's when like we started now working through it. So 2016 October-ish, September, October. So we shot What, I remember, in August. Then also at that point, Lightbox was still doing through Samsoko, the director of SAUTI. He was already, I think, maybe 2 years into filming SAUTI with Bonnie. So now I came in as a drone pilot for SAUTI, and someone who is, even if they don't need drones, I'm always like with them somewhere. They became like a clique. So now I became so involved with SAUTI. So I remember immediately after shooting What, now that was the first time now I started doing SAUTI. So
what a documentary as well.
Amazing doc. SAUTI. So I remember now in October or November, something of the sort. I remember getting a call, I think, from Bramwell from Lightbox, and it was like, the film What has been nominated at the Student Academy Awards. So ideally, since it was like a student film, but so ideally in the Oscars, in the academies, they have like, it's all under one umbrella, academies, but now they always have a segment of students academies, which happens, the event happens 1 month before the other one. So it is because the other one happens, I think timetables might have changed because of COVID and stuff like that, but I think for the longest, Oscars always happens in February. So now the Student Academy Awards happens, I think, in December. So it was like, SAUTI and What has been nominated, and do you want to go to LA? I was like, okay, why not? Of course.
Why wouldn't I?
And so the thing was, if you want to go to LA, give me your names, ndio uandikiwe the letter for the visa thing, but they are only paying for the main actor and the producer, but if it's something you want, you have a chance. Maybe they asked other people if they want, and maybe they say they don't want, maybe because of funding and stuff like that. So I'm just like, I want to go. So I remember, I don't know where I got that money. I just borrowed and stuff we were doing from our weddings and events and stuff like that. We got that cash over there, because now I knew when I go to LA, I'm gonna go make more networks. Being in LA for Student Academy Awards, that's a thing. I'm building a profile for me and for Folklore, because at that point now I'm Folklore. I'm Nick. Folklore and Nick is the same thing. So yeah, I found myself in LA with Charlie, with everyone over there who we went to. And the film won. It won that award. And so if you win an award as a student academy, by default you get a ticket to as a nominee for the academies. So now the following year on February, the Oscars were there. And now it was like, wow, okay, this thing is it's going. The wheel is moving.
Damn.
Yeah, and the Oscars were amazing and stuff like that. And by this time, I'm posting pictures here and there. I'm in the Oscars, so there's some recognition from people, from my folks. Like, hey, you've gone to LA, even if you're still in Roisa. There's some movement. There's some movement. I went to LA, came back. And now at this point, I was now a business person. I'm running an outfit. I'm making, I'm getting jobs here and there. And fast forward, I would say that's how I pretty much got into the world. That was my footing.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that was my footing. Yeah, that was my footing.
That
was my footing. Yeah, but when I look back, I'm like, hey, I had like balls. Like when I think about it nowadays, like, hey, you're going to a country you don't have even cash. I'm like, now can I do that?
I mean, being young and dumb is just
exactly.
Whatever happens.
You don't have anything to lose. I mean, my friend always told me, anytime you want to do something risky, always ask yourself 2 questions. What's the worst that can happen?
Right.
That's the first question.
The first question.
So if the worst because the worst can happen in any situation. If you can deal with the worst that can happen, go for it. If you can't deal with the worst that can happen, don't go for it. Because the worst can happen. There's no also sense. Life PSC about hustling and whatever. Exactly. So always mutually what's the worst that can happen? Sindambio Z. What's the worst that can happen? Sinikifka eleni kwe homeless. As in exactly. Can I deal with that? I can deal with that. So let's go. So I always ask myself those 2 questions. What's the worst that can happen, and can you deal with the worst that can happen? Yeah. So now when I was back in 2017. Now I was doing docs. Now I was working with Lightbox with projects here and there, and now with Folklore, as guys, we are still doing now events, coverage, weddings, and stuff like that. Now at least we had like some cash revolving around the company, working with other people, and 2017. Now when I was back, now that was like, okay, now this is your thing. Now I felt now this is the thing.
I guess since then it's just been the same now.
Now since then it's been now. The more the years are going, the more I'm going deeper into it. The more, let me put it that way, mashida, whatever. Which is good problems anyway.
That's good, man. It's amazing. It's an interesting journey to hear, because the creative journey is, I don't think no one has a linear.
There's no formula. There's no formula. There's no specific do this. Alafu on top of that, you are in Africa, in Kenya, whereby first of all there are no film schools, and another thing is the culture from from our folks, and you can't blame them because for them they didn't know that culture. So for example, my kids, for example. Right now, if say, for example, they will say, I want to be a director and actor, I could listen. But that time, they also don't have anyone who knew. My dad doesn't know any actor at that point or whatever. So I understand them. I understand their worries at that point. So just imagine, being a creative in Africa, in Kenya around that time and fighting through, it's friction. It's hard for everyone. So, and so 2017 now till now, that's how it's been. That's how the wheel has been moving.
Okay. And in terms of Folklore now, the company, what do you guys specialize? What do you guys do? Is it still weddings and events? And
so now, to start off, we started with that, but now the more you are doing your stuff, the more also you realize actually what you're good at, the niche, where your passion is, it comes with experience. It doesn't this is what I wanna be doing. So of course we've done a lot of music videos here and there, which I really enjoyed. Shorts that.
Have you had a favorite music video you've done?
So I've done So for music videos, I've done, I think I've done Antonio Soul's music video. I've done Holy Dave's music video around that time.
Nice.
Also, that was the time whereby Jay Blessing was doing music video. Young Wallace was big. Jay Blessing, Young Wallace. I think. Who? VJ1, Masharia. It was around that time, like there was solid guys, you know,
and they're really good.
And they were working with now the big names, Akina Jaguars, the SAUTI Souls of that time. But now our niche was also, because now we came in with a niche of storytelling. So our niche was not more of like the flashy music videos, was like, yo, we can do music videos like for Akina Aloe Black, you know, that have a story and stuff like that. So that was like kind of our niche.
Nice.
So even the videos that I did for Holy Dave, for Antonio Soul, they were like that kind of stuff.
Storytelling kind of.
Yep. In terms of like the favorite, I mean, they're all good and stuff like that, but I remember working with this lady, so I got that connect from Antonio Soul. She's called LAB. So LAB, she was for the longest.
Rings a bell.
She was the backup singer for Katy Perry.
Oh wow!
Yeah, for the longest. Even kwanza kwa your album, that album that made Katy Perry big, she was literally her backup singer. She's good friends with Katy Perry. So I think once she did that tour, because it was crazy. She lives in LA. She's American, so she's black. So she wanted like, I think like a timeout. And the timeout for her was like, I want to go back to my roots. I want to travel in Africa and see stuff. So she wanted to go to Ethiopia, Kenya, then South Africa. So she went to Ethiopia. She didn't like Ethiopia. That's what she was telling me. Like, I mean, coming from LA, somewhere is vibrant, and this is, you know, it's a closed whatever. You feel whatever. So she came back to Nairobi, and Antonio Soul connected me with her. And I remember we met, and she was like, yo, there's this song, Antonio Soul has told me you guys are, you know, are talented. I want a music video, and we did a music video for her.
Wow.
And I mean, doing a music video for LAB, who like is a friend to Katy Perry, you know, it's something.
It makes it real. The dream,
exactly,
right?
exactly.
Real.
Yeah, exactly. So for music videos, so that's the kind of music videos that I did.
Yeah.
Then, but now the niche aspect is now, since now we are storytellers and stuff like that. Now we just became like doc filmmakers. And that's how now, and of course around that time now I was now deep into SAUTI. So now I was now a doc guy in a way, you know, even in terms of like how I'm seeing stories and stuff like that, watching stuff, I'm watching a lot of docs. So and that's how like I put myself to like being a doc filmmaker rather than a fiction filmmaker. So now I've been doing a lot of docs ever since.
I love documentaries, and I've done maybe 2 documentaries, and what I find is documentaries, you can only plan so much.
Man, you can only plan so much and hope for the best. But once you get a field up on your everything, the reality is on the field. I mean, SAUTI was like, Soko used to plan everything, but you go to a field. First of all, you don't know what Bonnie's gonna do next. That's another random guy. Alafu most scenes pia is maandamano riots. Whatever you've planned, ujui Boni atafanya nini, ujui atashiko, ujui atashiko. I mean, so that's kwanza SAUTI put me, it was like, you know, SAUTI is a very crazy ass doc in terms of filming. It's extremely run and gun.
I can imagine.
Run and gun completely, and then run and gun with police, you don't have control over anything. You're just shooting unless the situations you are controlling. Okay, we're gonna go to Bonnie's, say grandma, you know, that's kind of control. But I mean, the bigger picture, I mean, Bonnie being an activist, and it's a story of an activist. I mean, it's all, we are all out. So I was introduced to doc from a SAUTI perspective. So
that's the deep end.
The deep end. So this is how docs run, you know, so this is how it goes. So, and that has been in a way implanted on how I see docs, how I do docs, the kind of docs also in a way that I do, that I found myself doing. It came from that blueprint.
Okay, what kind of docs have you done then since then?
So the kind of docs I've done, you know, I've done a lot of mostly BBC docs, Africa Eye docs, mostly coming in as a cinematographer, coming in as a DOP, and coming in as a drone pilot. but now there's one doc now that I did it from a point of from 0 to 100. Like now this is my story,
the whole process.
Exactly. So it's a doc called so in BBC it's called Street Dreams, but it started out as something called Who Knows. So we started filming Who Knows in 20 so for Maurice, when I came back, to put you back to the guy who sent me the link, when I came back he was like, hey, okay, ilikuwa origi. So now when I came back, Maurice was like, aya kumbe hii stuff ilikuwa, of course now tulikuwa na chat, alikuwa the moment I left, alikuwa shajua shit it was real. So now when we came back, Maurice was like, I'm applying for next year. I'm literally applying for next year. Yeah, exactly. So now in 2017 December, so outside Nation Center, there's like 2 clubs at that point. There was Tribeca and Mojos. And up with all, there are like kuna kwangana street dancers who dance outside the clubs. It's not a show, but they just dance outside the clubs. And how they get money is just from revelers if they throw their coins or well-wishers and stuff like that. That's their thing. And ideally they are dancers, but they are street boys. So in Ivile they are just parking cars here and there, but because those 2 clubs, they have speakers outside, so they will dance to the whatever. So I mean, it's a place. So Maurice used to live at his dad's in Kilimani, and I used to live in Roisa. So every time I leave from Maurice's dad, because that's where now our editing suit was, in his bedroom. So now nikipitia hapo ndio niende nipande ma3, I used to pass through that whatever. So I would ask myself, what are these guys, what, for documentaries guys is always the why. Why is this guy dancing? There has to be something. I mean, unless there's something he's getting paid, there has to be something. So now with the wise, one day I went and asked these guys, man, I want to come and just shoot you guys, you doing your thing. So I came, filmed them. I remember it was 24th, 25th and 26th, a Christmas day. That was the Christmas. I never went home. I filmed it, and it was like, so there was like a competition that came up that we are looking for short films that have been shot on mobile phones, and the winner would win, says it was like something like 500k whatever. So I was like, yo, we have this one, and the deadline was like 29th end year or 30th. So
you had to do as
24th, 25th, 26th we shoot, we edit 27th, 28th we submit 29th. So we shot on an iPhone 6. Those boys, the film came out well. We didn't know like the film is gonna trend the following year. Wow, like it became a big thing. Then now every time I'm in town, I'm with these guys just filming them here and there. Then it became a habit. It became a habit without me knowing. That was like, now we are going into 2018. So without knowing, I can't remember at what point now I was so sucked into it, but now it became a daily thing. I'm always filming these guys. Now I have a camera, and now these guys, they dance at night so they show up in Tao from 4 p.m. They help in parking, because now guys are going home from 4 to like 8. Then now they dance from 8 all the way through the night, depending on the days. Some days when the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday clubs close at 3 a.m, 2 a.m, whatever. But hizi siku zingine clubs go all the way out till morning. So now I'm with them all night.
Wow.
So I did that for like 4 years.
Wow.
Ideally I became quote unquote like homeless with them like for 4 years. So in the morning when they go to sleep, because they're also homeless at that point, when they go to sleep at Central Park, I just go home. And ideally you just go home, 3 hours of sleep, change, you're back again to Tao.
Wow.
So now I did that for like all those years. Then fast forward 2018, I came to London. I was staying at my cousin's Kev. Shout out to Kev.
Big up Kev. Big up Stelez making it happen.
Yep. So I was staying at Kev. So one day I told Kev, I want to go to building ya BBC. Nione, as in I see this is it. So I went there. I remember 2018, I think September, October or something. Then, so actually how I've found myself in London, very funny. So now she had made like the 5 minutes thing. 2018, early 2018. So there's like an organization called One World Media. It's in London. So they were looking for short docs, trailer teasers. If you have an idea, a story, whatever, that you can show you've done something, then they will fund to a bigger thing. So I applied for that. They came through. I applied for the visa, but now my visa came in late for the program. So I missed coming to London.
Okay.
But now I had like a 6-month visa. Then 2018, me and Maurice, we decided to go back to now that Italian program. We were now at that point we are going as veterans. Let's go.
Scholars,
exactly. Exactly. But also it was more of like investing in ourselves. So we went there with no money. Like literally, we paid our ticket. Kufika huko, we had like tulikuwa tunaishi by the day, literally by the day. We had literally kwanza we paid one-way ticket. Hoping so there was a client we had done a job early in the year in February, so we were expecting that cash we ndio itakuwa return, and that guy wasn't coming through. So we knew like okay, hapa tutabambwa. So 2018 September when the program is ending, so to come back to kijuliza na Maurice, okay, the next week tunafaa turudi nai because even our visa is ending. Maurice alikuwa anasimamia wedding his cousin. We had some cash like this. Alikuwa anasimamia wedding hawezi hadi tukiwa Italy alikuwa anapeana measurements za suti yake. So now your wedding lazima attend. Hiyo ni lazima. If there is someone who needs to be Kenya between me and you, it's him. So you are like we have say something like 90k mbele nyuma. No, it was something like 70k mbele nyuma. With the 70k or 80k, 60k can make a return ticket to Nairobi. For one person. Itabaki 20k. I need an extra 40k to find myself in Nairobi. Sijui nitatoa wapi hiyo 40k. But the 20k can take me to somewhere in Europe. I still had the 6-month visa yangu ya London yenye hata in April was here, and I have family here. So I was like, so tukambia na Maurice, wenda wedding mi wacha niende UK. Ukifika hivi nai since now sasa uko ground, tafuta do kunileta back to Nairobi. Ask your dad, ask now whatever. Now it's I'm gambling with Maurice wherever he is.